Okay, so let me check my mic here. Today we are um, doing, we're starting a series of pieces for voice and piano, a listening series. Now I have 10 scores to go through in this one, but it's a little bit weird. The first 6 of them are all going to be by the same composer, and then the last 4 are by different composers. So it's yeah, it's a little bit of a weird list. The first piece, the first composer is the Daemon Songbook by Matthew Lee Knowles. This is a project from 2022. 14 songs by Chiva, and it's subtitled "Of the Religious Faith of Fish Story Gallery." Um, the way I discovered this piece was through one of the 14 songs called Big Hands, which I found on Matthew's SoundCloud, and I was pretty taken with it. So most of the scores of Matthews that downloaded, I downloaded those PDFs back in 2021. This one I sort of downloaded a little bit later, just kind of because it struck me. Um, and it's quite a big project. Here's Matthew and Lashiva, July 2022. I guess this arm tattoo is emblematic of this collaboration. And yeah, obviously I'm assuming the words and all the performances we'll be hearing singing wise are by Lashiva with Matthew Lee Knowles on piano. And this is a Bandcamp album. Let me just pull that up too. The cover design and tattoo design is by Eric Marcel Chuck Mr. Bubbles Time from an original drawing by Lashiva. And yeah, the sound engineering and post-production by John Henry Baker. So this is very much like an album project, although I'm sure there are some live concerts associated with it, because I've seen some stuff on social media, video-wise. And here are the songs: Dandelion Acid, Daemon Song, Partners Shove, Planning Phase, We Never Had a Ball, Big Hands, Masada, Masturbating Whilst Meditating. I actually think I've heard this one too on Matthew's YouTube channel, just because I saw the title and had to click. And then we got Ambivalent, Your Star, The Chosen, Birdsong, Claw It Back, and Fish Story. And I've never um, I've never read through the lyrics of any of these. I've never done a score study of this, and like I said, I've only listened to 2 of the 14 songs. So each song is prefaced with the lyrics and then a big title page and then the score with lyrics in it, obviously. And I think the piano part, for the most part, is like very accompanimental, it looks like. Similar to a lot of Matthew's piano pieces we looked at from this time period, 2021 to 2022. Kind of like improvised, pseudo improvised piano playing. I think rather than go through every song, I'm just gonna listen to it and then I'll try to talk about 2 or 3 songs that I thought really stuck out for me as particularly moving or interesting. Okay, so they have formally formed a group, a duo that goes by the name The Agony and the Ecstasy of Dandelion Acid. So this is Lashiva and Matthew. And they did a live performance in 2025. So I guess this is kind of a pandemic project. It's kind of like skirts the end of the pandemic, 2021, and since then it's actually like been performed. So maybe I will link if I can find a full concert of this, I might link that in the video description, rather than a score video, because I think this stuff has to be seen. Uh, Although I will probably just have my face buried in the score today. Um, yeah, link to that is in the video description. Uh, and I am happy to kind of promote this project. I think it's still alive and well. Okay, just a bit of a disclaimer here. The recording today is in two parts, each with about 9 tracks. So this version or this concert has 4 more tracks than the score that I'm looking at, which was published in 2022. So either the project has expanded or or the song cycle itself has expanded. So I encourage you to listen to the whole thing. I'm going to be skipping around track by track to match with the score I'm reading. And I also wanted to read this little biography of Chiva, which was posted in conjunction with this performance. So they are a performance and visual artist, writer, and social worker with degrees in art history, social work, experimental performance, and psychosocial studies. They have degrees from NYU, CUNY, Central St. Martin's, and Birkbeck College. And the end of this bio plugs their solo album with uh, Buzzcocks guitarist Manny Perizzoli. The album's called Desire the Rhinoceros from 2025. I guess it was not released at the time of this performance, but is probably released now, so something else to check out if you're a real fan of their performance today. And I won't keep you any longer. It's time to get into this one. Okay, so yeah, this is a really special like yeah, a really special concert. I think it's great that it's sort of archived online like this. Um, it's very long. Uh, I think I only listened to 14 of the tracks, but it's some of these songs run over 10 minutes long. So it's like around 2 hours, maybe like 90 minutes if you don't listen to every track like I did. Um, and Yeah, it's very long for a song cycle, but I kind of liked the longer songs because it felt like you were really in a relationship, you know. These weren't really songs about unrequited love. They were lots of songs about like being deep into a relationship that is not going well and, this sunk cost fallacy kind of thing. Um, which is very time consuming and like as many people probably can attest. Um, So yeah, I really liked the mix of short and long songs. I still think Big Hands is kind of a real highlight for me. That was a real standout one. In this performance, they decided to have a violin part as well, which added something. Made it seem very climactic in the scope of the whole thing. Um, and I guess just looking at the tracks here, I really did like the opener Dandelion Acid, and I liked We Never Had a Ball, especially going into Big Hands. I liked that contrast, and they changed up the order a little bit. Like they did Claude back in the first half, and they opened the second half with Bird Song. I guess they didn't want to open with Masturbating Whilst Meditating, but that was a pretty positive one actually. It's kind of more like self-depreciating humor kind of one. Um, what I really liked about Lashiva's lyrics was there were these moments where you had lines delivered, like the language was very simple and the ideas were very simple, but also very powerful. I wrote down some that struck me. Um, like in Dandelion Acid, there's a line, and curiously I dangled by a thread that never ended. It's just like a really simple image, um, that makes you feel very helpless and um, in the context of all this other absurdist stuff, like the idea of the dandelion acid, it's just that much more striking having this like grounded line in the middle of the song. Um, and yeah, I really like the lyrics and We Never Had a Ball, like just painting this childhood memory and this like really simple line, like it was fun and it felt so good. Like that's such a yeah, it's such a clear sentiment. Um, I liked in Big Hands, I forgot there was those lines like describing the lovers like uh nails and like the grooves in their nails. I thought that was really like visceral and strangely relatable, like just the differences in another person's body and how like wondrous and strange those details are um and yeah, just like there was this other line, I can't remember which one it was in. I think it was in the first half, but yeah, I was in Masada just saying outright in the middle of the song, maybe hate's the only love I'll ever know. That's like a very, very dark thing to say, but I think lots of people, myself included, have thought that at some point in a toxic relationship or a bad relationship, and yeah, so those were the highlights for me lyrically, um, of a lot of these songs, and it definitely made me think about, like, I really struggle with writing lyrics or libretto. It really made me think about, like, okay, what do I actually want to say? And like this character, I think, speaks very directly because that's just the type of person they are, and nothing feels pretentious, nothing feels overly explained. It's all very like just uh, direct. So um, yeah, I thought this was a really interesting project. Kind of skirts the line between like um, classical music, like art song, and musical theater, or like pop song. So uh, I think any composers interested in doing that should definitely give this a listen and take note of like Matthew's approach to setting a lot of these songs and keeping it simple and putting the melody forward all the time, playing around with repetition too. Lots of interesting uses of like this obsessive repeating of things, and um I would encourage people to look at this score with this performance because there was a lot of changes in performance that were made and that didn't correspond with the score, which kind of reveal what's really important and rather than what's just a detail in the music. So tomorrow we're going to look at another song cycle of Matthews, I think. Um, so yeah, lots of like text to explore and stuff like that.